Welcome, Virgo. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I'm getting ready to read your new moon in Leo reading. The new moon's on the 24th of July, and the key feature here is the opposition of the sun and moon in Leo to Pluto in Aquarius. So this is being softened to some degree by the trine to Neptune, Saturn that are conjunct in Aries. But overall, this is really a powerful phenomenon that is asking us to reclaim our authentic power, not the power that others expect of us. This is authentic power that comes from knowing who you are and trusting that. So thus I titled these readings Life Affirming. This is about affirming who you are, trusting in yourself and in the universe by simplifying your life, by surrendering to the flow of opportunities, not needing to micromanage every aspect of the movement forward, which is part of the anxiety that we feel when we feel that things are unstable and unpredictable. But we can counteract this through understanding who we are and trusting that we know the best way to move forward as appropriate. The card that you received for your overall energy is the Strength card, and I absolutely love the cactus as a representative of the power of strength. Of course, the cactus in the desert has all of the water inside of it in an environment where there is nothing but desiccation. The cactus itself is like its own river. And as a result of that, birds, bugs, insects, creatures of all sorts nest and surround the cactus, which blooms fervently in the desert. So this is a symbol of the power and strength within you. This strength is often seen as vulnerability. In other words, your compassion for others. This can be seen as a weakness, and you perhaps have understood it as a weakness. It has been exploited by others. Underneath the deck, the Lovers. This feels like some kind of a redemption for you. I feel that your story is one of trying to make right or make up for a choice that you made in the past, a choice that turned out not to be the success that you had anticipated, or perhaps you never made a choice at all, and the opportunities that choice or crossroads presented to you were lost, and you have lived in the shadow of that loss for a while. Something feels as though you have come to a recognition of your feelings, your emotions, your greater wisdom, your passion and compassion for some aspect of this decision or choice. Perhaps it was the true soul partner, this truer soul bond. And I say truer because there are many soul bonds in our lives. They're not all meant to be happy and loving. They're here for a reason. And something tells me that this potential soul bond mirrored you quite precisely. Obviously not in all details, but there was something fundamental about your connection and recognition with each other that you had experienced before, as had they. There was some deep work that you were here to do together, and it feels as though you rejected that opportunity. So let's see where we go from here, Virgo. I'm pulling an oracle card to get us started. Two jumped out, and I'm going to take, well, more than two, but I'm going to take the one on the top, which is an agate. And the key words are healthy body. Every cell in my body is happy and healthy. Interesting. I'm thinking that there was a decline in your perhaps vigor, vitality as a result of losing this particular connection in the past. Somehow you wandered on your path of purpose. I do feel that many of you have been extremely successful in some endeavor in your profession, in your career, but there was an opportunity missed here, and it had a bearing on your profession. Perhaps as a result, you have encountered some health difficulties, some difficulty being able to express yourself, which makes me think of lungs and respiratory things. Please let me know if that rings true for any of you or resonates for any of you. This is a general reading. It will not resonate for everyone. If you're interested in a reading from me, there is information in the description box. If this reading does resonate for you, please like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate the time that you spend with me. I do not take it for granted. So thank you in advance for that. In the 10th house, yes, here comes this profound teaching energy. You have not only show out as a teacher in the larger community, some kind of authority, some kind of font of knowledge or information that is disseminated to others. In part, that is why you have gathered it, and it affirms who you are. This research, this information, this knowledge you've gained, and why your personal story, your identity is so key to the knowledge that you share. There's something intimate here about who you are and your story, what it is you teach. It does show me that you have worked tirelessly to advance in a particular career, and you have carved out a place that has meaning for you. And perhaps you are feeling a sense of incompletion as a result of a road not taken. In the first house, the Warrior of Wands is about this enthusiasm that you are building in the current moment, so that you are very clear what your authentic power is. You continue to explore that as a result of this vast store of knowledge that you have gathered. And it has inspired you in a new direction that perhaps is helping you to turn to the past in some way, to identify that particular expertise or mission that feels as though it was unturned, that it was left unexplored or unattended in some way. But you are enthusiastic. You recognize you've unearthed a whole new aspect of your knowledge, your journey, that you are equally excited about. This feels very much like traveling to do more research or gain more information, to make contacts, to explore something in the real world that perhaps you've studied or learned about. In the 4th house, the place of your home, your foundation, this can be your family as well. The Devil card is mirroring the Lovers. So this feels as though the family you got, you built, you were loyal to, did not work out in the way that this other opportunity promised. There is no way to know what this other opportunity, how it could have turned out if it was an opportunity you didn't take. However, what you did turn to or what evolved in the absence of this decision was something that felt very limited, very restrictive, that was confining. And it matters less what kinds of opportunities you had access to. Uh, Nevertheless, the sense is that you couldn't expand in the way that you wanted to. You found yourself limited to something that felt expected or required rather than a loving exercise, an exercise in working consciously with someone else to build something that you were both in alignment with. So this feels like a sense of incredible oppression that you experience. This can also be your family of origin, perhaps some major loss or sense of oppression or limitation exerted by even the traditions or the expectations of your profession. In the 7th house of significant others, we have the Chariot. I love this because there's this really positive through line here of your self-acceptance, your exploration of who you now accept as who you are, and how that informs the work that you've been doing all along. And in fact, it takes you to a new place, a place where your own story is integrated into this objective body of knowledge, right? That's what academic theory is all platformed on, this idea that theory, abstraction, ultimately is mirroring some aspect of your interest, your life, your culture, your ancestry that was anticipated, but now something is cracked open. And perhaps that road not taken has some special bearing on this new opportunity that you're making space for. This new opportunity to put aside the distractions, the unreasonable demands on your time, the expectations that you will drop what you're doing and help others. This is you recognizing those distractions are the thieves, and that in fact, the space to explore and focus on this new goal, this new aspect of your work is what is most important to you and nets you incredible results. There's absolutely a success here. So the warrior in the 1st house, we're going to go through the will and clarify, is clarified by the Knight of Swords in the 2nd house, in the world in the 3rd house. There have been some really difficult truths you've had to admit to. Part of this excitement, exuberance, and your new exploration, this new journey that you're on, is understanding that you made sacrifices perhaps that were not necessary, that you were held back from expressing your truth, sharing your truth with those that mattered, those who you feel had your heart or you had theirs. There is a sense here of some contract, implicit contract, not an explicit one, that was broken, that you denied, you snuffed out, you held down, this incredible exuberant passion that you felt, and that you recognize that you are releasing that experience. You put a close on it. You're closing that out in some way, perhaps realizing the truth of your actions, your behaviors is part of bringing you the closure to that experience. You are being rewarded. You are being acknowledged and recognized for the work that you've done. But you're very clear that this is merely a preparation for the next leg of a journey. In the 4th house, the Devil card is clarified by the Hanged Man in the 5th house and the King of Pentacles in the 6th house. You have, I think, really put your creative life, your imaginative life on hold. Not completely, but I do believe your perspective as you have exercised it through your work is something that you're now standing back, holding back, retreating from in order to recognize, in order to approach the opportunity that you now see in front of you. You must gain a different perspective. You must be open to new ideas. Think about something differently than you thought about it in the past. So I get a feeling of incredible threat here in your early opportunity, the earlier choice that you didn't make or made with a different outcome than you had hoped for. That is something that cost you your integrity to some extent. It was a place where you fell out of integrity. And you are now recognizing that. And in order to complete this journey, to pursue this ongoing exploration of possibilities for greater knowledge, more focused knowledge, I feel, a greater impact on a particular community, you are instead really grasping, taking the opportunity to look around, to open up to ideas that before you thought were unworthy of you, beneath you. The King of Pentacles shows that you have profited greatly from the work that you've done. You have a phenomenal, beautiful work ethic. You have gathered much with which you are now in the position to be generous. And that is part of what is spurring you forward. You're now in a position to do what you want. You don't have to do what is required of you. You've earned the place, the space, the authority to establish your own goals, to move forward in any area of your choosing. And you see this as a giving back, not just giving back to others, but giving back to yourself for all the sacrifices you have made to stay true on your career path. And I'm using that as an example of the way in which you've given to your community, given to the community. In the 7th house, the Chariot card is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles and let's see, this keeps sliding forward. The 2 of Swords in the 9th house. So the Ace of Pentacles is talking about new opportunities, building something new. And it's interesting because the story I'm getting is that you have been successful in one, perhaps operation, organization, institution, but you now have the chance to spin off, to create a practice of your own. And that success in some ways, or the opportunity has given you cause to recognize that this was not a choice, a conscious choice you made so much as your intuitive nudgings, your spiritual nudgings, that the work you had done led only in this direction. And yet there is some sense of perhaps guilt or a sense of concern for those that you feel you are leaving behind. It isn't that you're really leaving anyone behind, but in many practical ways you can see that that could be the perception of others, and you're concerned about that. You don't want to, you're not going to miss this opportunity. In many ways, this is the opportunity of a lifetime for you. But I do feel that you are concerned about how this plays in terms of the body of work that you've created so far. the seeming to turn away from those that you once believed in or that you feel believed in you. And you're not cutting anything out or cutting anyone out. You're emerging onto a new path, and you're not throwing anything away. But it can be perceived that way, or even your success can be viewed in some way as maybe a kind of sellout, for which you are aware that that is a perception others have. So this is simply a complexity with which you are being asked not to be concerned with what you don't know, that is the perception of others, but invest instead in what you do know about who you are and trust that moving forward. So this is you moving forward, making the choice you need to make, and trusting that you are growing, expanding, making a natural and inevitable choice that was always there. And now you are willing to step through that portal and understand the opportunity before you, and that it will be successful. I see you, if you are a presenter or public speaker, being involved in many debates, arguments, encountering a lot of resistance to your ideas, although you are on a powerful path. You are reclaiming some kind of cultural power in your efforts. And as a result of that, you are experiencing extreme backlash, but you are undaunted. You have experienced this along the way anyway, but now it feels as though it's coming to a head in a way that you're willing to step out and step through into your authentic authority. The 10th house, the Hermit card, is clarified by the Two of Wands in the 11th house and the Six of Cups in the 12th house. Yeah, I feel like this decision, this choice that you made a long ago, and again, it feels as though you stuck with what was comfortable to you. You didn't make the choice, but just stayed in the lane of comfort along your path. You didn't step outside the lines in any way. You did not move towards something that seemed possible, if unexpected, unpredictable. But now you have the power of your experience, the power of your skill, your expertise. And in that way, you understand that this is about moving out of your comfort zone. Even if your comfort zone is in some controversial aspect of your field, you're being asked to move beyond the comfort of your institution or organization. And in many ways, this is returning you back to this original choice, whether it's a person or an opportunity, a passion that you did not choose in the past. You still evoke it in positive memories. Not memories of easy times, but memories of this automatic soul bond, this recognition of someone who knew you and you knew them in a way that can't be named. But there's this great comfort with this opportunity or this individual that you didn't choose, that you let them float away. And now you realize that something about the course you're on relies upon that choice, that opportunity. Perhaps that individual has information to share with you or a perspective that could help to amplify your work now. But the idea of the soul bond continues to fuel your exploration. in terms of the integration of who you are and the choices you made into this much greater work that is for the public good in some way. I'm going to finish up this reading, Virgo, with a Seed and Sickle Oracle card. And out jumps the Lily of the Valley, a number 2. Number 2s make me think about the High Priestess and the Wisdom Keeper, the guardian of the mysteries, the hidden knowledge, secrets. Perhaps this is a time of a secret being revealed. And I'm going to read from the book because this is such an unusual oracle deck. Lily of the Valley blooms at the same time that the nightingale returns from its earthly migration. Legend claims that this is because the lily fell in love with the nightingale's beautiful song. But with the lily too shy to confess its feelings, the nightingale is none the wiser and leaves each year for warmer climes. Don't let your reservations hold you back, or you might find that an opportunity is gone before you have the chance to take it. There's a courage in being bold, and others will only know what you want once you find the strength to say it. If you've enjoyed this content, please check out more content here, and until next time, Virgo, namaste.